Have you ever walked out of a salon with a fresh, trendy hair color, only to look in the mirror later and feel like something's just off? Maybe it was too harsh, too dull, or it brought out lines and shadows you never noticed before. Don't worry, you're not alone. In fact, this is something so many women over 50 quietly experience but rarely talk about. Here's the truth. As we age, the rules for choosing the right hair color change, not because we're less bold or stylish, but because our skin tone, hair texture, and even our confidence evolve. What once looked fabulous in our 30s can suddenly feel out of place. But that's not a bad thing. It's actually an invitation to redefine what beauty looks like for you. Not for the trends, not for the world, but for this beautiful stage of life you're in. So in today's video, we're diving into 5 hair color mistakes that can unintentionally age you. And more importantly, I'll share gorgeous, flattering alternatives that bring out your natural glow. Because choosing the right shade isn't just about following fashion. It's about highlighting your best features. It's about feeling good when you walk by the mirror. And it's about reclaiming your style in a way that feels effortless, elegant, and truly you. But before we get into the specific colors to avoid, let's talk about something deeper. Why your hair color matters more than ever at this stage in life. This next part might surprise you, but it could also change the way you see your reflection from now on. Jet black. When bold turns harsh. Let's start with a color that's long been considered timeless, dramatic, and effortlessly chic. Jet black. For years, it's been a go-to for creating mystery and elegance. There's something powerful about a deep, glossy black mane. It commands attention. But here's the thing most stylists won't tell you. As we age, that intensity can start working against us. Jet black hair creates a high contrast frame around the face. And while that can look striking in our younger years, it tends to emphasize, rather than soften, the natural changes that come with age. Fine lines, more visible, skin tone, washed out or uneven, expression, often harsher than we intend. It's not that the color itself is bad. It's just too strong for the softened features and more delicate undertones of mature skin. Here's where the shift begins. Instead of clinging to jet black for its boldness, we can transition to shades that offer the same depth, but with far more grace. Think rich dark browns, soft black, or even espresso tones. These hues still give you that sophisticated edge, but they blend more naturally with the skin, adding warmth rather than contrast. And if you're worried about losing that wow factor, that's where highlights come in. Strategic highlights in shades like caramel, mocha, or even a hint of warm bronze can work magic. They catch the light, add softness, and give your hair a dimensional glow, like sunshine subtly dancing through each strand. These softer contrasts lift your entire face, making your skin look healthier, your eyes brighter, and your whole look more vibrant. Another bonus, these multitonal shades are easier to maintain. Unlike jet black, which makes every gray hair pop the moment it grows out, a softer base with highlights helps disguise regrowth, giving you more time between salon visits and less stress in the mirror. So, if jet black has started feeling a little too heavy or severe, it might not be you. It might be the color. And the good news is, you don't have to give up drama or elegance. You just need a version that plays with your beauty, not against it. Now, let's talk about another color that seems ultra stylish on the surface, but can quietly drain the glow from your skin. Platinum blonde. Platinum blonde. When chic turns cold. Now let's talk about a shade that's graced the covers of fashion magazines for decades. Platinum blonde. It's bold, modern, and undeniably attention-grabbing. There's something edgy and high fashion about that icy white tone that makes it so tempting to try. And for the right person, it can be absolutely stunning. But here's the truth that doesn't get said enough. Platinum blonde is one of the most unforgiving hair colors, especially for mature women. The ultra-cool tone of platinum blonde often clashes with aging skin. As our skin loses some of its natural warmth and elasticity, an icy shade like this can leave us looking washed out, tired, or even drawn. Instead of bringing light to the face, it can highlight redness, dullness, or uneven tones we'd rather soften. Even worse, it can drain the vibrancy from your complexion, the exact opposite of what we want at this stage of life. But the challenge doesn't stop at color. Platinum blonde also amplifies texture. If your hair is thinning, dry, or brittle, which is common as we age, this color makes every strand's weakness stand out. What you hoped would look like glossy, chic perfection may end up looking dull, damaged, or flat. Now here's the good news. You don't have to give up being blonde. The secret is in choosing warmer, softer tones that work with your skin, not against it. Shades like honey blonde, golden beige, or buttery blonde offer that same brightening effect, but with a radiant, youthful glow. These colors add warmth to your complexion, making your skin look healthier and more alive. And if you still want that dimensional, salon-fresh look, add some lowlights. Deeper tones like caramel, soft taupe, or warm brown woven through your blonde can add the depth and contrast that makes your hair look fuller and more dynamic, all while being easier to maintain than a single platinum shade. Blondes don't have to be flat or icy. They can be rich, sun-kissed, and flattering at any age, when chosen thoughtfully. So if platinum blonde is starting to feel more draining than dazzling, it's not your imagination. It's just a sign that your beauty is evolving, and your color should evolve with it. Coming up next, we'll tackle a mistake that sneaks up on even the most seasoned blondes, the dreaded brassy tones that turn your golden glow into a color correction nightmare. Brassy blonde, when warm goes wrong. Let's be honest, blonde hair, when done right, can light up your entire face. But when the tone goes off, even slightly, it can take your whole look down with it. That brings us to a mistake that sneaks in quietly, and often without warning: brassy blonde. You've probably seen it, or maybe even lived it. That moment when your once beautiful blonde starts to take on unwanted yellow or orange tones. Suddenly, instead of looking fresh and luminous, your hair looks dull, off balance, even a little dated. Brassy tones tend to creep in after a few washes, especially if the color hasn't been properly toned or maintained. And while a bit of warmth can be flattering, too much warmth starts working against you. Here's why this is particularly tricky for mature women. Brassiness doesn't just affect the color, it affects how your skin looks next to it. If you have fair skin, brassy blonde can make you look washed out or sallow. If you have medium or olive skin, it might bring out uneven undertones or clash altogether. And if your skin has deep, rich tones, brassy shades can look stark and artificial. The result? Instead of looking vibrant and youthful, your hair can make you look tired, older, or like you're trying to hold on to a color that no longer fits. But here's the beautiful part. Fixing it doesn't require a dramatic change. It just means reaching for cooler, more neutral blondes that add radiance without the brass. Shades like champagne blonde, ash beige, or neutral honey bring a sense of polish and elegance. They softly reflect light and flatter a wide range of skin tones, without overpowering your natural beauty. And here's a stylist's favorite trick. Ask for a purple or ash toner during your next color appointment. These toners neutralize yellow and orange tones, restoring balance to your blonde and keeping it looking clean, cool, and luminous. It's a simple step, but one that makes all the difference. You deserve a color that enhances your glow, not competes with it. And when you find that perfect blonde, you'll notice it's not just your hair that lights up. Your entire face follows. Up next, we're stepping into bolder territory. Let's talk about bright red hair and why that fiery flare can sometimes fizzle after 50. Bright red, when vibrancy overpowers. Now let's talk about a color that's full of personality. Bright red. There's no denying the power of a bold, fiery red. It makes a statement the moment you walk into a room. It says confident, fearless, and fun. And for a long time, that intensity might have been exactly what made you feel alive and beautiful. But as we get older, even the boldest shades deserve a second look. That vivid fire engine red that once energized your look may now feel like it's doing too much. Instead of enhancing your natural beauty, it can start to overpower it. Here's why. Bright red draws attention to everything, not just your hair, but your skin too. And if your skin has become more sensitive, uneven, or prone to redness, as often happens with age, the red in your hair can actually amplify those tones in your complexion. Instead of giving you a healthy glow, it can make your face appear flushed, your features more intense, and your overall look slightly out of sync. Not to mention, red is one of the fastest fading hair colors. That initial salon fresh shine can fade quickly into uneven, patchy tones, which means constant maintenance, touch-ups, and stress. But don't worry, if you love red, you don't have to give it up. You just need to find the version of red that works with your skin and lifestyle, not against it. Think auburn, copper, or rich chestnut. These softer, deeper reds still offer the warmth and vibrancy you love, but with a more refined, flattering presence. Auburn, for instance, brings richness without the glare. It warms your complexion, softens fine lines, and adds just the right amount of drama, without demanding all the attention. And here's where the transformation really happens. Ask your stylist to blend in some subtle highlights or lowlights in tones like toffee, caramel, or even copper gold. These layered tones create dimension, movement, and softness, making your hair look fuller, fresher, and more youthful. The goal isn't to tone down your personality, it's to let your natural elegance shine through, without being overshadowed by an overpowering color. If your red hair has started to feel more like a battle than a beauty boost, it might be time to let go of the fire and embrace something that still sizzles, but with balance and grace. Next, let's talk about a mistake that's less about the shade itself and more about what it's missing. Flat, monotone color, and why it may be quietly aging you more than you think. Monotone hair, when flat color falls short. Now let's turn to a hair color mistake that often flies under the radar. Not because it's loud or flashy, but because it feels safe. We're talking about monotone hair color, a single, flat shade from root to tip. At first glance, it seems like a practical choice. It's low maintenance, it's familiar, and for some, it feels like a clean slate approach. But the truth is, as we get older, monotone color can quietly age us in ways we don't even realize. Why? Because flat color lacks dimension. And dimension is what gives hair movement, life, and a sense of fullness, all of which become even more important as our hair naturally becomes thinner and less vibrant with age. A single solid color, whether it's blonde, brown, black, or red, can make the hair appear heavier, duller, and in some cases, even wig-like. It doesn't catch the light. It doesn't shape the face, and it doesn't reflect the multifaceted beauty of the woman wearing it. Worse, flat color can emphasize the very things we're often trying to soften. Fine lines, shadowing around the face, or the natural hollows that deepen with age. It creates contrast in all the wrong places and none of the right ones. But there's an easy, elegant fix. The key is to add depth and variation, just enough to break up the flatness and breathe life back into your style. Think soft highlights and lowlights, just a few shades lighter or darker than your base color. If you're brunette, try adding caramel or chestnut ribbons to warm things up. If you're blonde, beige lowlights can add richness without making things look darker. And if you wear red tones, a mix of copper and cinnamon can create a luminous, layered look. These subtle contrasts don't scream color job. They whisper refinement, glow, and effortless beauty. Best of all, dimensional color is incredibly forgiving. As your hair grows, the varied tones help blend regrowth more naturally, meaning fewer touch-ups and a longer-lasting, polished look. And here's something no stylist can teach: the confidence that comes from seeing your hair reflect the light just right. That quiet shimmer, that frame around your face that lifts instead of weighs it down. It's not just flattering, it's transformational. So if your hair has been feeling flat, heavy, or just off lately, it might not be the cut or the length. It could be that your color is missing its magic. Up next, we'll wrap everything up with one final reminder: a gentle but powerful truth about change, confidence, and why your hair is still your crown, no matter your age. Conclusion. Final glow, empowering reminder. So here's what we've uncovered together today: jet black, platinum blonde, brassy tones, fire engine red, and flat monotone shades. They're not bad, but they can work against your beauty rather than for it, especially as your skin tone, texture, and essence continue to evolve with age. And the truth is, evolving is not a flaw. It's a sign that you've lived, grown, and stepped into a deeper version of yourself, one that deserves a hair color that honors that evolution. Because your hair isn't just about style, it's about how you feel when you wake up in the morning, how you see yourself in the mirror, and how you show up in the world unapologetically. The right shade doesn't fight your age, it celebrates it. It enhances your glow, softens your features, and mirrors the confidence you've earned, not just the beauty you were born with. And if there's one takeaway from today, let it be this: you don't have to follow rules. You don't have to chase trends. You just have to choose what feels like you, the woman you are right now. Whether that means warming things up with honey tones, adding light-catching highlights, or softly blending a rich auburn, your hair should feel like a reflection of your strength, your elegance, and your radiance. So go ahead, experiment, evolve, and most of all, embrace. You deserve to feel fabulous at every stage of life. Your beauty didn't end at 40 or 50. It just got deeper, richer, and more uniquely yours. And I'd love to hear from you. What color have you been thinking about trying next? Drop a comment below and let's keep this conversation going. Because every woman deserves to feel seen, celebrated, and stunning, starting with you. Until next time, keep shining.